Welcome everyone to another Linux live stream. I guess we should be live. I finally perfected the last weeks and videos Linux on the precious SG Octane here, previous videos. And in this live stream we can also switch it on for you to play along at home. There's a power button. Here. And in this live stream, so among other things, as usual, we fix this stuff and make stuff more amazing and everything. And yesterday, I guess it was yesterday, I mentioned that, or we noticed live here on this channel, that some Linux kernel output from the SCSI devices was a little bit unsorted. I probably noticed that since a while, but even in yesterday's video I said like, yeah, whatever, YOLO, better things to do than patching this bloody kernel. And this, by the way, is a super nice setup now. Just installed today. The most amazing, stable, high performance and full disk encrypted installation here live on this SGI. And so what I meant is this here is, you see this SCSI drives, two disk drives and a archive Python SCSI tape in there. And so this SCSI output, it's of course like perfection in there, but honestly it's a little bit, looks really shitty and makes obviously the log longer, well, except all the USB stuff from the PCI bridge in there. But anyway, yesterday I thought, nah, YOLO, whatever, it's not like I can patch everything, so this is what I mean of like, it should be one line of SCSI something zinc period 10 offset 12 wide tech queuing def 31 and stuff, and 2 times 4. Anyway, so let's take a look, and yeah, this also is amazing, and now wants a full disk and a path thrust because that's how we're doing, but that's not how we, so yeah, perfect installation and probably ISO and previous video of network booting of boot, and switch this off to save some electrons there. Probably video coming of perfecting that sometime soon. Don't forget to share, like and subscribe. But today we quickly want to make this Linux kernel stuff greater here. So you in this amazing theme of financing open source by watching this YouTube video. So C programming for what it's worth. So this is in VI driver, set this yesterday, and the fix is actually much easier than I thought. So this is the code, this is already fixed. So how did I fix this? What nobody of the famous Linux kernel developers fixed in a couple of years. So it turns out this was in 2016, I think it was maybe this commit. Oh no, this is not the commit. Posted something. Wait a second, last year posted, run. Where the heck was this? 10 years something old fix. Anyway, so the thing is simple print K of debug logging and yeah, C programming. We got this in 2016 already. Where was the bloody change though? Run from article posted, pointed out commit, from, so pointed to commit from suggested. I think it wasn't this commit, I think there was another. Anyway, so long story short, the news in this thing here is, oh no, this was not that. Anyway, so Linus Torvalds, as usual, previous video, amazing C programming stuff and style and dictatorship here in 2016 without any discussion and fanfare. Changed this print case stuff and obviously, as per usual, broke a couple of stuff because recurring theme here, regressions. So what did he change? Turns out, so there are this kind of attributes of alert, warning and info and stuff. And there's also current continuation to, oh wait a second, is this one change of, here, changed, this is probably here of, print k reinstate kern continuous for printing continuation lines. And so the thing is, the original code, I can patch this here already, not to bore you further, as you see in this patch, so I probably can send this upstream in some minutes and collect some other point of sending patch upstream. So this code, why is it like this? So it's print k kern info. Here's the SCSI stuff of host device, LAN and whatnot, or adapter, probably host number, probably adapter, bus target LAN, as seen here with this amazing variable names. And so it's printing this. And why do they do this? Because if they would not print this like this, they would need here a buffer. And so write somewhere. So if you wouldn't, so what they do here, they print this here piece by piece, extremely low tech, like you would do in your first grade or so. And if they wouldn't print this piece by piece, you would need to have some character buffer here of probably 128 or so will do, hopefully, right? Or you count this here of the size of maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. It's like, yeah, we count this and 58 or so will do. But anyway, and then you would print that in there of sn printf and printing this in one buffer and then printing this of print k something maybe of a buffer sort. Anyway, that is certainly super error prone and fragile and stuff. And the benefit of this actually is that you could potentially see this already. So if this SCSI stuff, also at this here, it's only printing out some, actually, honestly, you probably could actually, I'm recurring theme, I'm not impressed by this, because this actually is not running any commands. You could actually print this all in one long print k statement, so that you have here, could you, yeah, actually you could with what do we have here, print d, yeah, actually no, it's a little bit tricky. Anyway, you could do this, it's a little bit tricky, not amazing. Anyway, so because otherwise the reason to do this in the first place, if normally you could step-by-step print out stuff, if you run more commands like issuing a command to the SCSI drive or whatever, and it could crash in the meantime. It's like, yeah, print some header that the user or administrator knows what's going on, and then gets this printout. Anyway, it's not running any commands here. Could probably be somewhat formatted in one print. Theoretically a little bit tricky, but yeah, anyway. So I fixed this here, as you see, with just adding in some kernel continuation stuff. I tested this already. I don't really want to show you this now, because then I would need to change the change network booting or something. But yeah, this is the commit, and yeah, long time ago in a galaxy. Where are my? Here's my OBS. Far away buffered streams of bytes, and yeah, 2016 recurring criticism of the Linux kernel, breaking stuff, regressions, and changing stuff of, yeah. In case you were wondering, yeah, 25 years in the making, Linux kernels need to fiddle around with print k, because C programming, yeah, not so easy. But yeah, to send this upstream, we sent other stuff already. Not doing this here live on video. Just wanted to point you out that adding full disk encryption to the SGI kernel, a little bit tricky. Took me also an hour of, because I actually converted this to a fully modular kernel, and that didn't work. This was way too large. Couldn't load such a large init.rd of ArcLoad. Couldn't allocate memory in region. It's like yeah, bootloader stuff. And then I also had of the new installation booting from XFS. Of course, the newly created XFS was version 5, and the ArcLoad, the old grub legacy of grub version 1 in the ArcLoad here, does only support XFS version 4, and also not all sparse size whatever stuff in recurring theme. Not amazing bootloaders, whether grub to a recurring theme why in my microkernel stuff I would want this in one module and only load this once, because yeah, you install your operating system and then the freaking bootloader can't load this. All right, I also wanted to, I caught some bugs as per usual, testing, more testing. And I was wondering a little bit, should I actually do the efforts, but of the usual 99%, 1% time and testing, and yeah, you do 99% over 15 years, no less, of since I have the SG Obtain, and yeah, 15 years later, finally like perfect and network booting ISO. So yeah, let's commit here some stuff, and I sent this to Linus, the dictator himself, Torvalds, later for the QLA 1280 SCSI fixes. But we have some other stuff of our own. So it turns out I had here one in ArcLoad stuff, because previously I'm not entirely sure, I had other issues, but maybe it parsed and maybe it worked, but I had another issue of XFS, not XFS code from grub1 in ArcLoad not loading this, so I'm not entirely sure, but looking into this, the syntax is anyway should not be like this in accordance to documentation. So let's better fix this. Certainly, yeah, whatever. I rebooted today 20 times. I'm not rebooting 21st time of. Anyway, we should do it how the code is supposed to parse it to. So fixed ArcLoad stone module to create correct root equals append config entry, or so whatever, something. Also, yeah, testing, more testing. I've done this in the summer or so, this stone integration scripting stuff. There's also at least one more thing, which at least with full disk encryption I need to add. There's some more code of, yeah, right now you need to correct there's some boot entry, but yeah, whatever. There's also from yesterday's video the network boot stuff, that is target share install. So alright, so there are two things actually. I compacted here the U-mount. I have here some bash history in the installer just as convenience, some not much, but like bind mount and change root and unmount. And today I saw this and noticed now does it not work with shell expanding that here, and sure enough it worked. Not sure, probably it may not work with all BusyBox and old mount versions, but it does. And the other thing is here the larger install enet network boot glue that we did in yesterday's videos there. And why does this not see some Unicode? Yeah, Unicode stuff. So that is from yesterday, and we also had here Endiness in shell, and how because can't make this stuff up, I was surprised myself. By the way, are we in focus? Maybe in focus. Whatever, doesn't matter too much, right? To my surprise, we determine here the default root because we can't rely on the early init ID. I don't want to make it too big. Of course, I could put the if config in there and IP and stuff, but the more you add, the bigger it is. And I have already the problem on the IBM RS6000 P50. It doesn't load necessarily, need a very tiny kernel there and other stuff. So why not do this in shell without even adding even more? Because even on the Octane, so as I just said, even on the Octane, if I load a fully modular, all modular init RD, that is then 20 or 30 megabyte. Yes, at least the current ArcLoad can't load this. Anyway, so I actually determine here the Endiness based on the net mask, whether it's usually like 255, 2550 or some inter-domain routing stuff of other prefixes of thereof. And so yeah, whether the mask starts with FF or not, it's like, so easy. probably should work. And also, so much too, was it totally a waste of time testing this on the Octane? No, it wasn't, because not only it made the Octane support even greater, it also found here, because otherwise I wouldn't catch this Endiness thing if I would have only, as I've pre-tested this in QEMU, 486 QEMU. At least this also was a good idea, because even that QEMU run found that the fget for getting files with HTTP and FTP and stuff wasn't cross-compiled, and the Endiness stuff I would not have catched otherwise, so that is pretty cool. So yeah, this is how to determine default gateway router here in shell. This also, in my opinion, super ridiculous that this procnet root stuff is in native Endiness. It's like, who thought that would be a good idea? It's, yeah, the more I look into that kind of stuff, the more I'm not impressed. Anyway, so also, yes, so for the Endiness, I have here hex to IP, and then the second argument here is Endiness, and if it's set with like big Endiness, otherwise don't set this, but if big Endiness, then just fill the number the opposite way of. Yeah, so that it's also for the sake of replacing here the stupid 1234 URL with something that just works if you run your network boot infrastructure stuff on the same router and TFTP DNS server thing there. And otherwise you can still specify it manually. In my opinion, this is pretty neat. Previously this was written in C by Claire in 2003-ish, and I've actually rewritten this in shell code in 2005-6 or something. And I find this way less crashing, much easier to work with, and the usual benefits of scripting versus static compilation. Anyway, so yeah, this affects all architectures, not only the Octane. So yeah, Sun, UltraSpark stuff, or just your regular, well, anything in between, right? Your latest RISC-V board, or just your boring x86 stuff. So improved net, like generic shared install target network booting to determine default file server from default root. The whole stuff took multiple hours with all the testing. It always looks recurring theme and just a couple of lines of code, but testing, more testing, filling with fget, finding this Endiness stuff, testing even on the Octane, 7 times rebooting or stuff, and then 1 hour is gone. Let's also commit here the slightly more compact install bash history mount procdev. But yeah, in all, pretty satisfied with the result of this year's YouTubing stuff. So what else is missing? I mean, some things you always need to know, like ArcLoad, what can you boot? It's I'm not integrating this in the installer, I'm making this foolproof. I read the freaking manual or internet retro vintage documentation of, yeah, but anyway, hopefully some year, maybe next year, I replace ArcLoad with my own nano kernel boot glue kind of stuff, because I'm really tired of, because again, today wasted 1 freaking hour with fiddling around with XFS just to make this bootable. Also fget you've probably seen this fget super annoying make-based build system. This comes from using this kind of small tools. I think that's probably that. I will just send this patch to. It makes no sense to write this mail to the mailing list and expose the only unnecessary private email details as per usual on my live streams. But yeah, otherwise leave me the comments below. I at least find this much more fun fiddling with good old trusty hardware than new failing thermal throttling. Hey, at least it's not thermal throttling Apple stuff, right? And anyway, testing big endian, even if I would have used some ARM stuff, might have been usually little endian. And yeah, I hope you learn some stuff from this and also get some more data points why I'm at times not so most English. By the way, is this right camera scene? All right, we have somehow I switched to that. Anyway, so yeah, quite some stuff made more amazing. By the way, did a data update? How data up? Oh no, this is better if I updated updated GNU plot. So this is how on a daily basis the stuff we just committed, better FS, some commits by data, IP32 stuff, and the Mesa stuff from yesterday, and Firefox, yeah, PowerPC64 little endian. Pretty impressed myself. I didn't think in 2020 I have a fully booting ISO network booting. Soon I think I'm running out of things to fix. Actually, no, this was a joke. Test and improve network boot install. I think I can delete this. But yeah, you see we have so much more to do also theoretically. Continuing previous video, T2 support for building foreign systems, ARM Mac and stuff. And certainly never running out of stuff. Theoretically also we could make, as a fully modular init RD is not booting here and in general getting a little bit fat, we could also certainly delete like half of the stuff or make this more like only include, because right now I include all network modules and stuff. Certainly 98% you will never have in a MIPS machine or Spark machine, but yeah, so there it certainly is 50% space saving easily if you want it, but not the highest priority today. So yeah, next I will do the same. So what is left actually, you can take a look at the to-do. Theoretically there is ArcLoad and Zilo full disk encryption. This is just full or like this encryption. Anyway, it's only my own to do. To automatically set the correct root there. Right now this is like probably taking either def mapper root or anyway, so or also actually there are some, maybe even grub2. There are still, I did this for grub2, so we can mostly copy this from grub2, the shell scripting stuff. And but I found there some cases in testing, but I'm a little bit, as per usual, day and night and stuff doing this, running out of time, because even this I burned way too much time. I shouldn't, with all the rebooting and stuff. And because yeah, I would now, the thing is also now I've nicely installed this, and now I would need to reinstall this and ruin my nice full disk encryption stuff. Probably continue another day. And in general, we will certainly perfect this like bootloader glue, but like not this month. This is not like level 1 priority. It's like, yeah, if you're not totally dumb then and read a freaking documentation, if the root file system is either not set or is something that doesn't boot, then like, yeah, just reboot the installer media or network boot stuff and fix this with VI. It's like, yeah, that's certainly professional playing along at home. Anyway, yeah, so pretty cool. And in general, all those YouTube videos certainly perfect T2. That is here our nice little source distribution. Just raw Linux. I hope you learned something and found this useful. And don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Hope to see you soon. And if you feel like playing along at home, plenty more ISOs published. And the only issue is, yeah, probably, yeah, right. So this ISO I will actually upload. The only thing is with all the improvements, and I had tested more, I didn't network install test. The only thing is the published ISOs like Spark and MIPS. The last published one from this or last week don't have the network boot fixes so much to you test, release, and then just after releasing you continue and find the next small glitches, so I could already respin this, but yeah, not sure. Probably, yeah, probably it makes the most sense. I also install the Sunblade 1000 here, and which is there next to the Octane, obviously, and probably whatever I find there, respin the ISOs with whatever small fixes, because there's always testing, more findings, and yeah. But in general, yeah, not only sold 2 years ago, SG Octane stuff after 15 years of each other year fixing some detail, finally stable, and now finally full disk encrypted, and maybe, who knows, a year or 2 years, and we have this hardware isolated 3D. Maybe, certainly, the more you share, like, and subscribe, Patreon membership, the more I can work on this. And one thing would be cool, I don't have a vPro